confidence placed in us. I'm excited to be here with you today to mark the opening of a big science program that will surely have a groundbreaking impact on our understanding of matter, ranging from
the teamwork from not only, we had our great then Governor Granholm and the congressional delegation, MSU, business community, people far and wide came together believing in this mission and what could happen. And in the midst of a very challenging time, MSU was selected. And we were able to go on then, step by step by step, to get the initial funding, to get the annual funding. It's great to have wonderful people on our Appropriations Committee. Thank you, Senator Lawrence, to have Representative Sotkin lead us in these final efforts as we were pushing and pushing and pushing, and here we are today. MSU is #1 nationwide in research supported by the Department of Energy. And we are going to see breakthroughs that we can't even imagine today, that will change our lives, our security, our health care, our jobs, opportunities for students to dream big dreams and see things that maybe they couldn't have seen before and actually know they could get it done. So I'm proud to be here. I'm excited to be here, proud to continue to be your partner, and particularly proud to be a Spartan. Go green!
This FRIB is really the final step in a journey that began in 2008 and the beginning of a new chapter for Michigan and MSU's story. Over a decade ago, the Department of Energy, MSU, and the state came together to make a bet on Michigan. The bet has paid off, and thanks to the 1,500 construction workers and thousands of public officials, university staff, state employees who spent countless hours to make sure we got this done ahead of schedule and on budget, which is incredible considering everything we've been navigating. Soon, hundreds of scientists and support staff will call the FRIB and Michigan home. The FRIB is going to deliver significant economic benefits to our state as well. While I could go on and on about harvesting rare isotopes and heavy ion beams and short-lived nuclei and other basic nuclear physics concepts that we talk about at my dinner table every night, I won't. I do, however, want to talk a little bit about how FRIB will unlock Michigan's potential. Michigan State University is already home to the #1 physics graduate program in the nation. And with the FRIB, we're going to be building on that status. It'll have $4 billion impact on our state economy and will be a talent magnet that offers unparalleled research and learning opportunities for some of the brightest minds in America and around the world. And the experiments and research conducted at FRIB could lead to discoveries and breakthroughs and innovations that could happen at few other places on the whole planet. This is so exciting. The FRIB will ensure that Michigan is the epicenter of high-tech research, innovation, and job growth. And thanks to FRIB and MSU's Best in the Nation nuclear physics program, Michigan will be the international leader in rare isotope research, beating out China and South Korea. Leadership in this space will give American companies competitive advantages in commercializing the discoveries made here at the FRIB. They will create jobs in fields we haven't even heard of and start new businesses right here in Michigan instead of overseas. The work of the FRIB has a range of applications, from bolstering our national security and shoring up our energy independence to curing diseases and answering big questions about the origins of our cosmos. The folks at FRIB are going to get it done.
The research here at the FRIB is just absolutely critical. It will help drive the creation of new businesses and jobs across our state and the country as we commercialize many of the discoveries that will happen right here. In addition to working to fund the FRIB, I was certainly proud to work with folks here at Michigan State and their government relations team, which does an outstanding job of keeping us informed of what's happening here, and then the collaboration with so many other folks here at MSU to craft some other bipartisan legislation that was signed into law to make the first major update in federal research and technology policy in over a decade, emphasizing the need to maximize basic research opportunities, to reduce some of the administrative burdens for researchers. I heard a lot about administrative burdens for researchers, and encourage scientific entrepreneurship. And we all know that FRIB is not only putting MSU further on the map as one of the premier research universities on the globe, as particularly with the outstanding quality of your graduates from your nuclear physics program. This is just a huge economic boon for Michigan, creating economic activity that are going to bring people right here to the greater Lansing area. So to all the local officials here in the Lansing greater area, I remember what Congresswoman Lawrence said, let the tax dollars flow into the greater Lansing area, which will be an incredible benefit for folks here. FRIB is also furthering our ability to compete with other nations. And make no mistake about it, our competitors, and particularly the Chinese government, are making significant investments in research and development. And if we fail to do so as well, we risk ceding jobs and economic opportunity, and it endangers both our national as well as our economic security.
And when you think of the research that's going to go on here on things I have no understanding about, and I'm glad our governor, as she opened up talking about the isotopes and everything else, very few of us on this platform have any idea of what you do here, and that's good, because it means that you got to do it, those of you that know. And the most exciting thing for me is not, and it's wonderful, all of the business startups that will take place, all of the scientists from around the world who will come here, but more importantly, all of the students that will have a practical experience. And more than a practical experience, they will also have an opportunity to have their hands in the operations that may find amazing, amazing new ideas, opportunities, and process that will come out. That excites me as an old guy, because that means the future is bright. And wars that we see, as I saw in Ukraine, may not need to ever happen because of the research here for defense capabilities, energy capabilities, medical capabilities, and ultimately better life for people living on this globe.
Thank you, Director Glassmacher. Listening to Senator Stabenow and thinking about 2008, and for those of you who remember it, it was just so brutal of a time. And many of us up here were working together to try to lift Michigan from its knees. And it was hard. And in 2008, the notion of being able to give people hope about the future was really important, even as people were struggling so much, and the auto industry was struggling so much, and the workers were struggling so much. And so when the cooperative agreement was reached, when MSU was chosen, it just gave this beam of hope that sliced through what was really such a painful moment. And often there's an old proverb that says, sometimes leadership is planting seeds under whose shade you will never sit, planting trees under whose shade you will never sit. And what a, just personally for me, to be able to come back at this moment, to be able to sit under the tree that you all have been watering and nurturing and planting, and being able to then show another light into the future, which is what will happen. For those of you who have not seen the facility or been inside yet, and I know a number of you have already, but the idea that this massive series of pieces of equipment, the bended forms of metals, the huge technology and computers associated with this facility for rare isotope beams, the fact that this massive investment is researching the tiniest of particles, the subatomic particles, it is mind-blowing. And what the president wanted me to come today to say is that we in the United States, and now MSU and Michigan in the lead, are going to invest in that future. We're going to invest in curiosity-based research and research that leads to cures for cancer, that leads us to be safe in a nuclear age. We're going to invest in the future. We're going to invest in the students here. It doesn't always have to be at a lab. DOE has 17 national labs. It doesn't always have to be inside the lab. We have 28, this is called a user facility. We have 28 user facilities across the country. It means that we want to open the doors of research to allow this next generation of students to be able to benefit from facilities like this, in addition to working alongside the most brilliant, Nobel-winning scientists and researchers. We are just so committed as an administration to that investment in the future. So the bipartisan infrastructure law that was passed earlier this administration last November, that's sort of the backbone of the Biden administration's strategy to invest in the basics, as Governor Whitmer was saying, roads and bridges, broadband, making sure we have an energy infrastructure through our grid, et cetera. That's sort of the backbone. And the brains will be the piece of legislation that Senator Peters was referring to, which is the Bipartisan Innovation Act. And we know that we have bipartisan support for investing in the brains of this country, that we are not going to be overtaken by China or by others who are equally hungry to be in the lead. We have to invest in order to be in the lead. So I, just as a personal point of gratitude, I'm so grateful to be here today, to be able to celebrate this. And I look forward to coming back to be able to celebrate the discovery of all of the rare isotopes and other isotopes for our isotope program, that you will be discovering all of the benefits that will lead to that. And I have to just give one other shout out to Jim Blanchard, who another huge Spartan and fan who's here, who has been such a leader. This has been a three-governor journey, a multi-member of Congress journey, a huge lift by the trustees and by MSU presidents. And Thomas, you've been there from the beginning, so thank you for your leadership as well. Let's get this done.